also, like as we said, the happiest people are not the ones who achieve the most. Like as we said when we were talking about 9 to 5 jobs, that okay, it's earning me money, मेरे पास पैसा आ रहा है, मैं तो बहुत खुश हूँ. So let's so I have done my research on it. So the happiest people are not the ones who achieve the most, right? At Yale University, there is this professor called Laurie Santos. She teaches a course which is called the Science of Well-being. All right. Now I've heard a bit of she does TED Talks as well. In this course, she takes time to explain that we are really bad at figuring what makes us happy, and she tells us that money, your good looks, your big house, they don't have an impact on your base level of happiness. They might give you an artificial sense of happiness, and that's what, like, it's a propagation that we have seen throughout, like, movies and everything, that you know the base, it gives you an artificial feeling of happiness, but the base level of happiness is still you're not feeling happy. And there's a science behind it. So can we elucidate on the statement that the happiest people are the ones who spend more time than others in a state of flow? And what is this state of flow? And when we are talking about the theory of Zen as well, the theory of Zen also relates to the state of flow where attention to detail and simplicity, as we started this conversation with, are very important. So can we explain to the viewers what is the state of flow and how to achieve the state of flow?
You've touched upon another huge mountain, but
Yeah.
let me try to at least crack a few boulders out of it, because flow itself is a huge topic.
Yeah.
And it was coined by a person called Mihaly from Poland. His surname is a little more complicated, so I'll not take it. And This particular state of flow is something in Ikigai is called as Ikigai Kan, which means a state of Ikigai. It's like mindfulness,
Yeah.
or I'm a trainer at heartfulness. So being heartful is one thing. Heartfulness is a state of being heartful all the time, a state of being mindful all the time, mindfulness. So a state of flow is when you can be in a state, in that state which you have identified, can you continue to be in that for a period of time? And when you get into that, there are again a few hints around when you get into a state of flow, there's a feeling of ecstasy that rises in you. It's way beyond joy. It's a feeling of ecstasy, a lot of clarity. um, no doubts will be in your head, extremely clear, extremely focused, and you can keep doing it. You lose sense of time, you sometimes lose sense of surroundings.
Yeah.
You're so much involved, you're so much involved in your work that you lose complete sense of, you lose your own identity in that sense. You lose your, that's a state of flow, is when you lose your own self and you're just doing it because it's become part of you. It's way, as I said, it's a huge mountain. And once you get it, advice to all the millions and everywhere around, the motivation comes from within, intrinsic motivation. You don't need to look for motivation outside, you get it from within.
All right. Uh, so to give an example for the state of flow, we can talk about artists. And so artists are who carry the torch of their ikigai instead of how we talked about the principle of retiring. They never retire. They carry the torch of their ikigai instead of retiring and have this power of art. In all its form is an ikigai that can bring happiness and purpose to their days. For them, enjoying or creating, as Deepak said, that the state of flow where you are in, where you lose time, where you don't know what is happening but you're just passionately working for it, so their enjoying or creating beauty is free and something that they have access to. So artists know how important it is to protect their space, control their environment, and be free of distractions if they want to flow with their ikigai. And so many, like how we perceive artists, we see them as some misanthropic or repulsive, but what they are really doing is protecting the time that brings them happiness, and sometimes at the expense of other aspects of their lives. They're outliers who apply the principles of flow to their lives to an extreme, but we don't want to go towards an extreme. But this is what something, how a flow can feel, how an artist feel in a state of flow. This is when you achieve something like this is what exactly Deepak was trying to tell you about. When you are in a state of flow, you will understand that at that point of time you'll understand that you are in a state of flow.